Comrade Lante Oriake, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriake, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriake, live on.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my people. This is the Comrade Show. Today is the 4th of July 2021, and it's our regular Sunday tonic, the one we call the Comrade and Friends. Before we proceed, I want to seriously apologize to all our viewers, our fans, for starting really behind schedule. We want to apologize for starting again, please. It was due to a bit of technical issues. My apologies on behalf of the team. Very sorry for starting late. My people, as usual, today is going to be a very sweet one. Our focus today on Comrade Show is more on Edo State. Panelists today will be talking less and want to hear our guests, our fans, say a bit more and make contribution to the issue at hand. In a short while, I'll be introducing those that will help us do justice to today's discussion. Like I said, Edo State is one of the states of the Federation, and as Edo people, we normally most often talk about the growth, development, and things happening within Edo State, while we also try to look at the issues in Nigeria. But for today, our interest is more on governance in Edo State, and also we'll be looking at the issue of artifacts and the creation of the museum in Edo State. You will recall that close to 7 to 8 months now, the governor of Edo State was sworn in as executive governor. As we speak, the cabinet is not yet in place. Why there are so many issues to that, many people have become a bit apprehensive. But today we are going to douse tension to look at it and to see why, and if there's any cogent reason at all, and to take I know the governor as well sometimes watches this show. He will hear firsthand from Edo people. And of course, the issue of the return of those novel, worthy, glorious, wonderful artifacts that were taken many years ago by the British government and other governments within Europe. So we shall be hearing your views with a view to having a good understanding and to forge a way forward on how everything will be good. Remember, Edo first in everything we do. So on that note, I would like to call on the panelists here today, Comrade and Lady Comrade as well, to do a bit of introduction before we kick the ball rolling. As usual, we have our regular anchor. Our CNC is in the house as well. He will also be talking to us. But I want Dr. Tony Agbons. For the sake of this program, we address ourselves as Comrade. Comrade Dr. Tony Agbons. Can you talk to the people, please?
People, I join my brother, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremira, to welcome you all to our Sunday tonic, the Comrade and Friends for today. I hope we are all enjoying this first Sunday of the first month of the second half of the year 2021. Thank you for joining us. Please share the broadcast. Share the broadcast on our YouTube, Facebook. Share the broadcast. Let's enjoy this tonic together today. You are all welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. You know, when you do these things often, you can't always do it more than the CNC. I didn't introduce myself, but I'll do that now. I remain your first staff anchor for today's program, Comrade Pharmacist Augustine Iremiran. And I will call on our CNC to quickly introduce himself before I go to our special guest.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist Augustine Iremiran. Do people and Nigerians across the world, my name is Comrade Lamte Bomosariahi, and I want to say thank you very much for joining us, and of course to join Austin and the team to say we apologize for starting this program behind schedule. Like he said, we have some topical issues bordering on Edo State. I hope you stay tuned and let's be part of this to make it as interactive as possible. But most importantly, it's one segment of our programs that we want to use to send a direct message to the governor and the government of Edo State. Thanks for joining, and please share the broadcast.
So much, my brother, Comrade Lanti Paosariaki, for that. We have two guests. One will be joining us in the course of this program. It's no other but our own Ambassador Matthew Biki Uwaifo. As soon as he joins, we will make him to introduce himself. But we have in the house a distinguished doctor, a lady comrade, and a lady musketeer. No other but Dr. Loretta Agboro-Oko. Please, can you talk to the people, please?
Thank you very much. And to the people out there, I say thank you. But Austin, Dr. Agbons and the comrade himself, the ambassador is on the call. I'm sure he can introduce himself.
Daddy, ambassador in the house, please, the floor is his. Can he introduce himself?
Thank you all for having me. I hope you are hearing me very well because we have technical issues as usual with the network in Edo State. So joining from Edo State is a little bit problematic. But I'm happy to be here and I'm asking everybody to please share this broadcast. This segment is for you. You can join, you can participate, and make it a lively program. We hope that today we'll be able to, all of us, contribute our own quota on the moving forward of Edo State. Thank you all for being here. And to the Musketeers, I say happy Sunday. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Matthew Biki Uwaifo. It's always a pleasure and a joy to have you on board, especially as we talk about issues affecting our state. Thank you so much for joining, and then we believe that maybe in the course of time, all technical issues will be resolved. Without further ado, we're going to go straight to talk about the matter at hand, and then our phone number, because this is going to be an interactive session, is being displayed. We encourage all our fans, all our viewers to pick up the phone and tell us a thing or two. Today's program will be more of interaction. We have a full house, but our panelists for today will be talking less. We want to hear from Edus wherever you are. But just to keep the ball rolling, shortly after the governor was sworn in with his deputy, he appointed the secretary to the state government. And a few weeks ago, we had the chief of staff of Edo State was also appointed. But many people have been worried that the full cabinet is yet to be formed, even though the governor is working seriously, reshaping and building Edo State. But many people don't have this information, and we think it will be good for it to be discussed. And Edo State is fast making history to be the government that has the longest number of months for a full swing executive committee to be in place. Those are issues we'll be talking today, and also the issue of the artifact. So without further ado, I want to call on Dr. Tony Agbons to say a thing or two about this. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, thank you, my brother. our anchor for today, Comrade Austin Iremira, for developing the framework for our discussion today. And like you said, I don't really want to say much. We have going to be having an interactive section with Edo people all over the world concerning the matter of the constitution of the State Executive Council. Breaking that down, we know that the executive arm of government is made up of the governors and the commissioners who, are always at a round table working together. So, but for one reason or the other, since the inauguration of the second term of the governor of Edo State, our state ESCO has not been constituted, apart from, like you mentioned, the appointment of the SSG and the appointment of the chief of staff recently. So those are the things. For me, I don't really want to jump the cat. I would say for now, I don't want to say anything. I will just want to hear from Edo people what they actually feel and what they think about this, and what they know. They understand to be the underlying issues, because I feel that there must be some underlying issues responsible for this. So I'm also very, very willing to hear a comment from our people. So I want to join Austin to encourage our viewers. Our phone lines have been displayed on the screen. Please pick up your phone and dial that number. Please try and call directly and let's hear your thoughts. That is what I want to say for now, my brother.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons, for that input. While we wait for calls to come in, if you permit me, I just want to run to our mama in the house, Dr. Loretta Ogboro, just to ask, as many of those are you worried that almost 8 months down the line, we don't have a functional or an organized ESCO in terms of commissioners? Are you worried, Doctor?
So well done to everybody once again, and to the audience and to the ambassador. I say well done. Followership. I've always said followership drives leadership. And the followership is not made up of one person. The followership is made up of a lot of people. In this case, it will be friends of Edo State and Edo State indigenes and peoples all over the world. If they say they are concerned and they're in the majority, then obviously there are concerns. However, I think the more important thing, apart from having concerns, is to try and seek a root cause analysis, to try and find out why is this happening and how could it be expedited. And I think this is the essence of this kind of program. I don't think it is for one person to actually put a definitive stamp on. I'll rest that here for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta Ogboro. You've brought a new dimension to it. If it's not happening, why is it not happening? Could it be expedited? That is great. I'll go back to Comrade Lamti Ikpamosa Oriaki just to get him to say a word on this. I understandably, those many people within the country are worried. Should they really be worried, Comrade Lamte?
Yes, Austin, thank you very much for the question. I think we should call a spade a spade. I stand in a position like you do and almost all of us do here. Okay, like the situation here, we can directly feel the pulse of the people. There's apprehension, a huge one, across the states, from the diaspora, everywhere. Okay, and again, it is very unusual that we have a government in Nigeria that has, spent 8 months or nearly so, and we are yet to have a full cabinet running. So if people are apprehensive and people are concerned and they are expressing the concern, to be very honest, I think it's valid. Particularly when, many people may not know exactly what is happening, which is where, I told the line with Loretta to say, this is where programs like this are necessary, so that whether they buy it or they don't buy it, we can create the platform, okay, for people to begin to understand why these things are happening. Am I happy that 8 months or nearly so down the line, we don't yet have, a complete cabinet running in government house of Edo State? I'm not. Okay? Am I angry? Based on what I know, I'm equally not angry. Okay? Will it be rewarding for Edo people that we have a functional cabinet in place by this time? Yes, it would be. Now, is it right or wrong, for Edo State to still be like this without, a functional cabinet in place and working and all of that? That becomes highly subjective, depending on where each person is looking at it from. Now, from what we know, okay, and what we have observed about what the governor of Edo State is trying to do and all of that, for the, not just for the foreseeable future, but for a long term as far as governance is concerned, I will tell you, from my own standpoint, that even if it takes the governor, okay, 1 year to get it permanently right, I probably would believe that the sacrifice will be worth it. I probably will believe so. But having said that, I believe strongly that the complaint of everybody who's complaining is valid. Okay? If government can expedite action, a bit more to ensure that we reduce the pace, then it might be even better. But to say that the government is spending time to ensure that governance, matters of governance become less attractive, becomes a matter of people, coming to serve for the glory of service, not for what they can get. And government is spending time to ensure that more transparent structures are put in place to ensure that the say of the people matter in the process. I believe very strongly that, if it takes some time to achieve that, it will be much rewarding in, looking at it, long term. That will be my take for now, my brother. God bless you.
Pharmacist Remira, just to buttress what Lamte has said before we move on to the ambassador, he used the word. He said functional. I want us to really study that word well, because as a surgeon, sometimes I will tell you that something is structurally there, however, it's not functional. So it's one thing to have a structure and to just put in executive members. It's another thing to have properly functional persons, having square pegs in square holes. And sometimes that does not just take a sprint, it may be a marathon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta, for adding that. And also thanks to Comrade Lamte Bowosa for his input. He has created a fulcrum to say he is not so happy that it's this long, but if being long means getting this right, he would take that. Some people have also argued, could this be political? As the governor not been in the saddle for years, he would have understood the politics. Could this be PDP with the hand of APC? There's so many innuendos going around. I don't know if Ambassador Matthew Biki Wifo is still there. I would like him to speak to this. The ambassador.
I'm still here. I'm a part of the conversation, even though my screen is not appearing. But can you hear me?
I think we are hearing him off and on. We cannot really clearly hear him.
If the ambassador can call Lamte's line, because you are in the off studio, maybe we'll take that.
Okay, that may make sense.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me do that then, and I will answer you when I'm on. Okay.
Thank you so much. While we are waiting for that connection to come back, I must also tell our viewers that there's been some inroad towards establishment of this cabinet. Few months ago, the transition committee was set up, and only recently, I think last week, another committee was set up charged with the responsibility of further reviews. So some people would argue
Hello, sir.
that if they are not there yet,
Is it better now?
there is
It's
certainly a
better.
roadmap. Okay.
Sorry, comrades, Pharmacist Remira, sorry to interject. Ambassador Matthew BQ Wifo is on the line. Yes, sir. You can go ahead, sir. The world can hear you.
Okay. Thank you all very much. I must thank Edo people worldwide for their passion and I'm on the ground in Edo State, and because of that, there are certain things that I've noticed. For example, I will start first of all by saying, how did we get here? The whole state, everybody voted overwhelmingly and supported Obaseki. Are you all hearing me, please?
Yes, sir.
Because there's noise in the background. That's why I was asking. Okay. Everybody voted overwhelmingly for Obaseki for a second term, which means they have a trust in his ability to carry out his own agenda, because he campaigned on the agenda. And what was that agenda? I'm trying to explain the background before I talk about the delay. What was that agenda that he voted for? It was called the mega agenda, making Edo State great again. And how do you make Edo State great again? By not doing the same old things, by not running the government the way it was run in the time before. And what was it run? How was it run before? By putting mediocres in power, people who don't know their left from their right, just because of godfatherism. They have a godfather. So the necessary what is it called? The necessary people who can really deliver are sidelined because they don't know anybody. And the governor's agenda is such that his Edo State, you don't have to be an indigene of Edo State. As an indigene of Edo State, no Edo State should be more Edo State more than any member of Edo State. And as the result of that, he also said in his mega agenda that we cannot continue to do the same old things and expect different results. You have to do new things if you want new. To any ministry, PAMSEC, you can stay for months without being registered, without getting a reply. But now the ministries have been so structured because the leadership has been trained in the leadership center, the JROA. When you write a letter now to any department in government, within 48 hours, highest 72 hours, they must respond. That is one. Then number two, when you know our people are very emotional. There have been issues of, oh, I want this person to be appointed, and the governor said no. Remember also, before introducing the mega agenda, when he was just sworn in November, I was sworn in on the 12th. And I think on the 19th, the governor came out in a press conference to say that his power flows from the people. and that with the people joining together with him in a campaign to move Edo State forward. So what the governor is trying to do, or what he did, is to include the people, and that is time. And how did he include the people? All the commission and whoever be appointed from the world to the local government. The local government had their own select committee. And then when the names said the conference, what is it called? Somebody on the wrote petition, all that and so on, that some were not qualified, this and that. In order to please the people, he decided to this, he said, that people who are infallible, and they did it correctly and moved it forward, that they should screen, and then after screening the list that will be submitted to him is what is. Personally,
Hello, my people.
I'm saying the truth. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned because the administration is called Godwin Obaseki administration, and is the one that history is going to judge, and is the one that is going to leave a legacy. So whatever happens, we have given him the mandate, and I think we should stop stressing ourselves and let him concentrate. If he's not bringing, there are certain informations that are not in the public domain. Even myself, there are certain informations I do not know. But I believe that with his giving 2 weeks maximum to this new committee to come up with a list, I'm believing that before the end of this month, issues of commissioners will be a thing of the past. And I believe that whoever now emerges to be appointed commissioners will really be people who can do the job. And I'm saying right here on this program, if people cannot be still come out because of human error, that somebody is appointed who still want to do things the old way, the governor should fire that person and put somebody who can work, because Edo State is ready to move forward. I will stop here so far. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Matthew Bikiu Waifo. It's always a pleasure to have you talk to us, and when we invite you for events like this. Yeah. Our ambassador has taken us through a bit of historical past for our viewers. In conclusion, he is full of hope that the cabinet will be formed sooner rather than later. He has also assured our viewers.
Comrade, sorry, I think we have a caller too. Hello, another caller. If you don't mind.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning or good afternoon.
Yeah,
where are you calling from? What's your name?
Good afternoon. I'm calling from US.
What's your name, sir?
James. My name is James.
James. Go ahead, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's call it spade a spade. I just came back to this from Edo State. The way people are lamenting and complaining about this regime is not good. We all voted for Obaseki. At least this man supposed to at least the people by doing what he was voted for. I personally drove around Benin City. Edo State look as if there's no governor. Like the fact, I stood in that ring road and look everywhere, they look dirty. If you look haggard, it look as if there's no governor in that state. Just imagine the board of appointed commissioners forming a cabinet relies on the governor. So as we see no reason today, almost 8 months, no cabinet is formed, and you guys are supposed to be on the pressure group. So massive pressure on the governor, because you guys are very close to the governor. So I believe let this thing be done. We all live in Western world. We know the way things are why by now, 8 months, governor cannot form a cabinet. It's not as if it's the first tenor, this is the second tenor. No matter what may have happened by now, a good cabinet will have been formed. And apart from that, without those cabinets, they cannot be functioning very well. Personally, I drove around the state. I'm not depressed. I know how many times I go to mechanics. Go to a Kewari, for instance, when they are doing you go there in a day, you will not see where they even work. They are working as if they are military. They are not even fast. If they look as if there's no governor, nothing is happening. I spent good 2 months in Edo State. I just came back 2 days ago. So I went to see this for myself. And I also sat with people's opinion in the state. Everybody that put it was Obaseki, I'm telling my brother and sister, they are very angry right now. Because they've not seen this kind of thing before that. 8 months down the line, there's no cabinet, no cabinet. And things are not working. These are just in one place. Once the rain is being, can't go out. It doesn't really matter. I stay in GRA. I can't go out if the rain is Benin. Everywhere is flooded. You guys need to go to Benin and see what's going on there. Because the way things are going wrong, it's not good. It's not good. We should speak out. And you guys should not start petty. I know the way Comrade rightly always condemn the federal government, also condemn where there's condemnable. Anything not good, stay out. No perfecting it, driving a person. No. This is very wrong. The governor, 8 months down the line, cannot form a cabinet. And they're not working. Everywhere look agile, everywhere look dirty. I saw that ring road.
Okay, my brother. Let us take other callers. I think your point is very well made. Let's take some other callers. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Comrade Friends, calling from Oakland, Norway.
Okay, Usazuwa, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, my name is Collins Oregbe Usazuwa. I'm calling from Oslo, Norway. My name is Oregbe Usazuwa.
Go ahead, Collins. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, sir. I think because of the love we have for our governor, Obaseki, many of us are reluctant to actually state the fact of the reality on ground in Edo State. Personally, I think the governor is not doing what he should be doing. We love him so much that we are a little bit scared to criticize him.
I don't know if we've lost the man from Norway, but I think he's made a very important point. He thinks the governor is not responding quickly to... Hello? I think we've lost him.
Go ahead, Austin. I think we have lost him.
Well, we have lost him, but thank you so much to our brother Usazuwa all the way from Norway. He has said that the love we have for the governor is the reason why many people are not criticizing. He has a right to his statement, but Comrade Show is bringing this up so that we can hear from Edos. So it's very apt that we are doing it. And my brother James all the way from US went a bit further to say that there is palpable fear and many people are concerned and worried about governance in Edo State. While we are expecting more calls, I just want to ask Tony, can we say that the media team around the governor are not really talking and doing enough to let those know what the situation is. What do you think?
On this constitution of the cabinet. So this, we are not here this day to come and start analyzing road construction. Look, since some of us grow up, government has always been constructing road, building market, local government. Look, that is not what we are talking about today. So let us please, I want to beg us, especially our viewers, in as much as we're making these phone calls in, and it's the reason why the Comrade show, I decided to throw this open. Let's make our contribution with regards to this executive council. So this, no, we are not here now to begin to look at Ekewan Road or Soso Road and all that. I think that is not on another day we will do that. So I just want to chip that in. So going to the question you have asked me, Austin, I think we've said this more often than not. The media team, the information team of the Edo State government, they need to reawaken. They need to be very proactive. They need to inform the people more. It is true that the governor's Facebook page, Twitter handle, I see a lot of information there, but that is not enough. The media thing, they need to be more creative, because to be honest, as far as some other developmental efforts are concerned, there's a lot going on. You see all this most times on social media, but the media team, I was even asking somebody the other day, I said, is EBS, is this still working? Because I know that it's a government owned media outfit. So I said, if EBS is still working, then they should be very, very proactive to really putting out what the government is doing. But that being said, I really need us to I'm even a bit disappointed now that a lot of phone calls are not coming in. This is the time to speak, and I must tell you that a lot of people in Edo State government, they watch this program. So let's pick our phones and make the call. Let's make our views known about this cabinet constitution. To me, I think the time is long enough to put the cabinet in place.
My brother Tony, I want to once again, on behalf of the Comrade Show, appeal to all our fans, all those wherever you are. Today is your day for us to talk about this government formation in Edo State. And if we hear from you, if we hear your thoughts, if we hear your concern, it will go a long way, because we know those in government in Edo State, more often than not, listen to the Comrade Show. The show is for everybody today. We want calls to keep coming. 90 seconds for every call. And please make your point straight away. It's purely on the issue of the non-constitution of the executive of Edo State. I would then want to go to the doctor in the house, Dr. Loretta Ogboro-Oko. We all supported, wanted a regime, a change, and Obaseki came again for the second term. Do you think Edos are afraid to tell the one they love the truth?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, comrade.
Yeah, good evening, sir. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Godwin Erabo. Eda Godwin Erabo. I'm calling from Italy.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I think there are many people, I think the last two scholars, they really spoken about what I wanted to say.
Okay.
But I just still want to add a little of my own. I don't see the reason why the governor delayed in appointing his cabinet by now, with the euphoria that greeted his coming in second term. But I'm a bit taken aback or disappointed to see the way things are now going. Governance, the beauty of governance or in a democratic setup is the inclusiveness of people.
Absolutely.
You can't just say you know it all.
you want to do everything on your own. It's impossible. I know we have a lot of bad elements in politics, but you can still see some good ones that you can still include in your team to work things with you. By the time you are trying to be holier than thou, the only holy man in the society, it will not go down well with a lot of people. It will not give credence to what Kabaka and these people were saying before the election, that he just want to eat alone. He don't want other people to eat. I know we are not praying for people to come here to come and eat. But if you want to work as a leader, you don't even have to work. It's people you appoint to work for you. You will sit back and supervise. By the time you are not delaying all these things will not be going well. That's just my own little thing because of the time. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Over to you, Austin.
Thank you so much, my brother Irabo. You stuck to the time and you delivered your message really, really well. I'm going to come back to a few points that the gentleman raised. I would allow Loretta to finish with the question I asked while we wait for more call. But I want us to keep this holier than thou attitude. Another call.
Hello. Please, can you reduce your device?
Hello?
Hello.
Please, it's me. I'm from Birmingham.
What's your name, man?
I'm from UK.
I said, what is your name?
My name is Joy. Joy.
Go ahead, man.
I'm from Birmingham. Yes, please. I want to talk to. I just want to contribute on the issue of grant.
Okay, go ahead.
What we just need from our governor, because we all love him, we supported him. What we need now is just light and road. If he can give us good light, 24 hours light, that Benin City will be like Europe. I live in Birmingham, so I know what is happening here. We just need light. Because of light, I supported him. We need light and good road. That's it. We don't need any other thing. Thank you.
Over to you, Austin.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my sister Joy from Birmingham, UK. Although you didn't talk about the issue we are discussing today, but you are concerned with the issue of light and road, I believe we are going to have another program where we shall look at the infrastructural stride of this government and we'll stray that. But that's not to say that your comment is not valid. Light and road needed for Edo State. Point to be discussed in subsequent episode down the line. I'll come back again to our doctor while we are still waiting for more calls. There's another one. It's their day. Let's take it.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Victor Sadiaye Ekho. I'm calling from Hamburg City, Germany.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. I just want to appreciate the panel sitting down there, making the analysis. What I see in this Governor Obaseki, I know we all struggle to see that he came back the second time. But let us realize the hurdles he's passing through. The hurdles since he was elected the second time, hurdles of this court, this trial, and all these trials. I think of recent, he was victorious again in the appeal court. And for me, it was after the appeal court judgment that the governor sworn in. And after that, he need to really plan what will be the next stage. I am very sure that he didn't want to appoint the commissioners, and when the appeal comes, you see, it is not easy. We are making him to be imbalanced. We are making him to lose focus on what he needs to do for us. We know that he passed through these hurdles. These hurdles is really hard for any governor to pass through and be successful, and then speak up and did all this job at the same time. Please, I will want that since after the trial, the victory of the trial, he will now begin to focus, because there is no any other distraction that is coming on his way, and therefore he would definitely choose his cabinet henceforth to start off well. Even upon the hurdles and trials he was passing through, the project in the Kenwan Road was still going on. Nobody will be distracted to have a pass mark. If you are in an exam hall and your examiner or your invigilators are disturbing you, you will not have a pass mark. And if it is a free exam hall, I'm sure he will attain a success. Please let us be patient with him, and I'm very sure he will start off very soon. This is my belief. Thank you very much, and I'm watching you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother Victor from Hamburg, Germany. You've brought a different dimension to this. You say we should be patient with him. The governor has undergone loads and loads of orders. Thanks to God, he's been very successful. That may just be the reason. Thanks for your thought, Victor, and for looking at it from a different perspective. While we await more calls, I still want to go to Dr. Loretta. Please be quick to put a word in before we get the next call.
Thank you, Pharmacist Remira. Your question was, should we be afraid to tell our loved ones if they are still not performing optimally? Was that your question?
That was it, ma'am.
Okay. So we have another caller. I have an option of getting that caller. I will pick the call. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, comrade.
Good evening, sir. What is your name and where are you calling from? I said, we can hear you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Orinde Usazuwa, calling from Oslo again.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. For me, personally, I think, like as I was saying before, I think Governor Obaseki has been in government, so he should know better. I think he has, he should be able to form his cabinet by now. He has been in government, and he should be able to form his cabinet by now. That's my take on this.
Okay. Thank you so much, our brother Osazuwa from Norway, for calling again. He is of the opinion that the governor, having been in the saddle for some time, should have formed the government by now, should have. Thank you for that. I'll go back to Dr. Loretta for that answer to my earlier question.
So there's something my mom used to tell me when I was growing up, and my father reiterated it. He said, it's only your friends that can tell you that your mouth is smelling. And he used to say, "What that you have mouth odor." Others who don't like you will go behind you and start laughing without telling you. At the same time, they also say that love bears all things, and that love actually sees the other side of things. Now, let us leave love, and let us leave emotions, and let us actually be objective. Austin, when you are in your house, I can only make hypotheses as to the things going on in your house. I am not living in your house. I do not have the fact. And there are certain things I may not see. When I am doing a root cause analysis, for instance, if we lost a patient, for instance, a lot of the feedback is anonymized, and I'm supposed to look at it without knowing who is probably writing, and to look at it objectively. I would say here that if we have had the faith to vote for a man, we should sometimes also have the faith to believe that we knew he knew what he was doing before we actually set him on that course. That in itself is not to say that we cannot interrogate the prophecies. Don't get me wrong. We can interrogate the processes. You can critique a man without being vindictive or without making statements like, "Oh, he." We can remove emotions and just say, so what is happening here? Why is it happening? And how can we get it better? And that is a good way of your loved ones telling you that, hey, step back and reflect, because they love you. Okay, but at the same time, they have faith in you. At the same time, they would not castigate without first finding out the facts. I will not tell Austin that, oh, this is what's happening in his house when I don't live in his house and I don't have the full facts. So, rounding off, your question is yes, we should have no fear in telling our loved ones that, oh, yes, this is not quite right. And I call that interrogating the processes, but not necessarily castigating them. But at the same time, we should be objective enough to help our loved ones and even proffer solutions. A lot of people crying about that this is not done, this is not done, that is not done. Where are the solutions they have proffered? We need to actually look at these things through another lens. And we should not have bandying words and using terms and beginning to insinuate things and say someone is thinking that they are holier than thou. To me, those words are not objective. They are subjective phrases. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta, for that. Why the Comrade show, hence we decide to bring this because we want the people of the state to speak to this issue. And I like what you said. We have to be objective. And most of us, in fact, all of us, we are not in the government of Edo State now. We are not inside. Most of our comments will be mere speculation. But the bottom line is, Edos voted for their governor and they want to see governance. And like Dr. Tony Agbons once said in our program, the only measure, because of our understanding, is when people are holding office. Hence, any Edos are worried and clamoring for this to come. But you said we should be objective. On that note, I'll go to my brother, Comrade Lamte. When the gentleman from Italy was talking, he mentioned about eating alone. How do you see that statement? Is Obaseki just eating alone and leaving us not to have anything, not even crumbs from the table? What do you have to say about that?
To be honest, I mean, I want to talk, speak for myself. I'll tell you the truth. My enthusiasm for Edo State is to have an Edo State that will run differently from what we have had since the last 30 years. Now, the concept of eating at all, I find it difficult to reconcile with. Whether he is eating alone or he needs to eat with other people, I find it. My enthusiasm, for this government and for the governor, even in spite of all that is happening, my enthusiasm is the strong belief that I have, based on the things I'm able to find out, that this governor is repositioning Edo State. Unfortunately, the benefit of this repositioning, you will not see them in skyscrapers. You will not see them in bridges immediately. But the benefit of it is that a lot of loopholes, in government have been plugged. So many loopholes. Today, Edo State, for the first time in the history of the state, the IGR of the state, internally generated revenue, has increased tremendously. The governor is aiming to getting 5 billion for Edo State coffers from IGR alone. Now we have small derivation coming. We have the federal allocation coming. That if the government is able to get this vision right and practically everything is on the ground, what that means is that nobody knows what the future is going to be like. NAPC has threatened that they will not be remitting money for some time to the federation account. Nigeria appears to be broke. What we have is that we are still having a government in a state that will be able to run because of, what's called how much they have done to tidy the fiscal responsibility of the state. Are you following what I'm saying now? So at the end of the let's take this caller before we continue. Hello.
Hey, the greatest comrade.
I greet you, sir. What is your name and where are you calling from, sir?
This is Apostle Alfred.
Oh, Apostle, go ahead, sir. You are calling from Benin City. That's Apostle Alfred Uyino, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Sir. Are you on broadcast?
Oh, yes. I thought you were calling to contribute.
I am not even aware. Jehovah.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
All right, sorry, sir. I will call you when we are done with the broadcast. Sorry, sir.
All right.
Okay, sir. So, like I was saying, so the concept of eating at all is an aberration. If there's anything like eating, whether by the governor alone or by everybody, okay, the entire process will lose my support. It is because I believe strongly that so far I do not have any proof that there is eating taking place at all, either alone by the governor or by a few persons around the government. The moment I get to know that, let's take this caller. Hello, sir. Or ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Dominic. I'm calling from Italy.
Go ahead, sir.
The issue that people are discussing, I'm surprised to hear that somebody saying that this governor wants to keep the law. This thinking of the law is every Nigerian's heart. When you talk about politics, everybody is aiming about eating. At this governor, I can see so many things that he start to put in order. Okay, if the government did not have Nigeria in those states in heart, I watch where was it a local government when he asked them to go and bring people that they will give appointment as commissioner, and they were fighting. So if the government did not have those states in his heart, he would not tell each local government or each would go and appoint people before screening them. He saw that he has people, he has those states in his heart. So all these people that came and said, why is he not appointing this one, is he not appointing this one, is he not... Those people that he is going to appoint, are they coming to work with ordinary hands? Are they not coming to receive the allowance and salary? So if everything is not put in place, how can the governor run all these things? So those state people, we need to be very, we need to come back to our sources. We should not push Obaseki to a place whereby the people will call, you will appoint commissioners, they will start eating, swallow those state money. No. If you want to appoint, they should give him time to appoint whosoever you want to appoint. When that he can come in, he will do something that will make people to be happy. Not to pressurize the man. These people, they are not commissioner, but look at what he's doing. Everybody is seeing it. Because so many of them have people, they have one person or the other to appoint, enable them to be swallowing those state money. No, we don't want that. If the government can do it for me, or if the government can do it alone, to do what those state will need, we are fine. Not to appoint 200 commissioners at the ending of it, saying that already giving them allowance, there is no money to work. No.
Absolutely.
That era has passed.
Yeah.
During the show, we see so many treatments, food everywhere at the ending of it. We see them dancing here and there at the ending of it, nothing to show. If Obaseki alone can be able to do it at the ending of it, it deliver, I will be very happy. They should stop saying you need to appoint, you need to do this one. If Obaseki went to appoint, is it not to appoint everybody? So we need to have patience. We need to watch it very well. We need to watch. So they should stop pressurizing the man. They should not pressurize the man to go appoint whosoever is not supposed to appoint.
Thank you very much, sir.
That is my own view. Thank you.
Go ahead, Austin.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother from Italy. I think on the question I asked Comrade Lamptey, he was also towing that line. Oh, another caller. Can we take that?
Iremira, the ambassador is still on the phone. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Hello,
I wanted
sir.
to go to him.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, that is Alfred Yunusa again. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Pastor Alfred, can you go ahead? Can you reduce your device and go ahead?
He was also towing that line. Oh, another caller. Can we take that?
Iremira, the ambassador.
Okay, don't worry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Go ahead, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, good evening. My
Yeah.
name is James. I'm calling from Austria.
Okay.
So I want to make my little contribution. I know it might be a little bit different from this present topic we got today. I'm from Edo State, Edo Central, precisely. So I know it might. Sorry, as I said earlier, it might a little bit be different from your topic of.
Okay, please. Can you do us a favor and stay on the topic?
So 2024 is what.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, good evening, everyone on the platform. I want to appreciate you for the wonderful work you are doing for us in Edo. Talking about the cabinet formation, I just want the governor to really look inward, look for a capable hands, irrespective of their political affiliation, men that will be able to carry the state forward, men that will join him to lift up the glory of Edo State. And I know that the governor have great plan for us, and he's a man who doesn't talk much. He doesn't talk much. He talk less, but he has great work to do for us in Edo State. That is the reason why all hands must be on deck. We must ensure we support him to carry Edo State forward. Now, the cabinet, I know there are capable men and women that will be able to join him. It is not on the hand of the governor to pick people from different wards by himself that he knows that will work with him, that will not betray him. I know, I'm aware that there are people who have PhD. If they are good, his own is to invite them by himself, not allowing those party leaders to begin to pick some individual because they have primary school certificate. No, the people that would join him to carry Edo forward. We know what happened prior to the election, how some people began to step out. So I really want him to look inward because there are capable men who work with him, who work for him to ensure they carry Edo State forward. That's one. Then two, talking about the Benin artifact, I know the governor will not do anything that will bring Edo State to shame. And I know the governor will not do anything that will bring pain and disgrace to us. Now, I know his plan. His plan is to carry Edo to the world, where people can come to Edo to say, this is our museum, this is our artifact, and that alone will generate more funds for the state and for the good people of Edo State. So I want us to throw away sentiment. I want us to throw away sentiment because Obaseki is a businessman. He's a businessman. So the business that he need to do that will carry Edo forward, I know that is what he's doing. I just want the Edo people to just keep calm, to allow this man to bring out his good intention. I know fully well that Obaseki mean well for us in Edo State. Making Edo State is everybody work. Finally, governors in Edo State. So far, so good. To my own assessment, because nobody sent me a message, but I know I've been able to move around the state. I have seen what the governor is doing. Whether we like it or not, he's doing his best. But if we want him to tie all the road in Edo State in 4 years, it is not possible. It is not possible. But so far, so good. He's doing his best. All we need is just to join hands with him to see how we can carry Edo forward. This is my contribution to the great people of the house.
Thank you. Is that Apostle Uyunusa?
Thank you,
Oh
sir.
yes, thank you very much, Uyi. Yes.
Is that Apostle sir?
Oh yes, sir. He is.
Yes. He has told us today that there should be no pressure. The governors should look inward. There are capable people in Edo State that will move us forward. I know Ambassador Matthew Biki Wifo is waiting. I just want to ask, as some have argued, that the people making noise in Edo State are political jobbers and those that don't mean well for the state. Could that be true, our ambassador?
I will have to just ring up the ambassador because it's the same phone that people have been using to call since.
He's
But
here.
meanwhile, you can go ahead.
He's here.
Is the ambassador
He's here.
there?
Can you hear him?
Oh, okay.
Ambassador, my question to you is, there have been lots of allegations and people making lots of noise, I would say, about this formation of Obaseki's cabinet. My question to you is, could it just be political jobbers or political opponents trying to make noise where there is no noise? Yes, I can. Yes.
You can?
We can hear you, Ambassador. Go on.
Yes, okay. Let me just use this as an analysis. The topic before us is about the formation of the cabinet of Edo State. Now, we have and they tell us what they are viewing. Surprisingly, you see people telling you about road. You see people telling you, saying, others should do that one. You see so many people from different angles. What I must tell you is, Edo State here, I'm telling you, and I will open this very well, and let's say 85% to 90% of all Edo State people here that are found out, even some in the diaspora, all they after is and their own self-interest. They don't really care. They can use anything for it. But in the end of it, it's about eating and about eating. On an international network like this, like the Comrade Show, to come and be talking about something. Now, it's clear before I go to I digress on this topic. Look, if Obaseki was a chop man, they fought him to his death. They fought him in his first time. People right now have short memories. Obaseki did not really rule in that short time. We know the troubles that he did. You want to tell me if Obaseki was chopping a new money, that people would not have gone to give evidence, to say all manner of things. But the truth is, the man is not a hungry man. He's not a hungry politician. He's not looking for his belly. He's looking for the good of Edo State, just like one of the people who found him said. Otherwise, they would have used all evidence if it was corrupt. They would have used it if it was corrupt. They would have used it against him for that second time. But throughout, nobody could tell us that Obaseki stole any money or took any money. And they had nothing to do. That is why they went to the one of the funny guys said, look, even after the swearing ceremony, even before the swearing ceremony and everything, we had cases dragging the governor, distracting him left and right. You know? And in the end, it's the Supreme Court when May 28th, just less than 6 weeks ago, that cleared and finally put a stop to the whole argument that Obaseki was duly elected as a governor. You understand? What am I saying? I'm trying to say that right now, from what I see in Edo State, despite the fact that commissioners were not there yet, still remember, because I like talking with facts, because I need my research. You remember that in April, the transition was during the press through it, and the transitional committee came to say what they were doing, how they were doing. Really went further and did a Zoom in which he explained everything. And he even told them the amount that we were getting from the federal account and what was being debt servicing, very difficult, paying the pensioners. And he said that after doing all that, the 100 million was what would be left. And that 100 million will account for building the health center, will account for the development, and that was not enough. That is what I heard in that press conference. And nobody could get it.
I don't think we are hearing
We
Ambassador
are not hearing. I
clearly.
think you can stop the line.
I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of complaints coming from
Yes,
the social media handles.
Ambassador,
His words are already coming out.
maybe you should call Lamte's line now. He'll open it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The line is not closed. Other calls were coming in and all that.
I think why we saw that out. Can I just chip in something here? You know, in administration or in leadership, sometimes they say you don't give a room. Okay, there's the call coming in now.
He's the ambassador. Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear clearly, sir.
Okay. I will just summarize because of time. I was saying, number one, for the man who came on an international network like the Comrade Show to come and say that Obaseki chopping a loan or not chopping a loan, I must be frank, it entered one ear, it went out through the other. I said for such a person, my answer to him will be this. If Obaseki was corrupt throughout the time of the fight, to deny him of a second term, Oshomole would have used it. He would have used it. He would have brought it out in public to say this man is corrupt, this is the money he stole, this is what he did, this is what he did not do. They would have said so. But till now that I'm talking to you, nobody has been able to accuse the governor of stealing any money. So that will just answer that. And I was equally saying in my summary that a lot of people here, 85% of the population in Edo State here, still believe in you chop by chop. They still believe in belly infrastructure. And most of the people in different ways are dishonest. I'm telling you the truth. You need to come here and you will see it for yourself. I'm here. So the standard is very different. So the governor needs to have people he can trust to be able to carry out the mega agenda and for him to leave a legacy. And like the last man told us, I was saying that number 3, in the transition committee report, press conference, which he did, he came out openly and opened the books for all Edolites to see. And he said that, look here, this is the amount that comes from the federal government. Now, after servicing the state debt, and after paying teachers, paying pensioners, and paying this, he said what remains is 100 million. From 100 million, the road has to be constructed, PHC centers has to be built, and so on and so forth. And he said people should bring ideas for how to increase revenue collection. You see, and what I find out in Edo State is that people love rumor mongering, they love grumbling, they love complaining. Now, this is a program we have thrown open for people to phone in. How many people are phoning in? The governor comes out on a Zoom and we throw it open. He said, ask me any question. How many people turns up for the Zoom? You won't turn up for the Zoom. You won't, make your phone calls. You won't even go. Even the people making the loudest noise, there are people who didn't even go out to vote because over 473 cards, voters' cards were not collected and are still not be collected from INEC. 398,000 people vote out of a total registered voters of 1 million something. So what am I saying? If you cannot carry out your civic right, what right have you then to point to a governor that has your interest and has a passion for Edo State and has been proven, tested. You see, when I talk, they say, oh, maybe psychophancy. No, if Obaseki is going wrong, I will tell him. And that is what a lot of us will do. But I want you to see, I want to say that the biggest problem we have at those states now, from the cows that are disturbing people's farm, from so many other things, is Edo people themselves. Edo that is the worm that kills a tree is inside the tree. It's inside the tree. And that is the truth, you know. So what am I saying in effect? I am saying let the man do his work. He has already said in 2 weeks he's given to the new committee he formed. So in 2 weeks they should submit their report, and with time the commissioners will be made. So in the end, let's assume he go and appoint a thief just now. What will people say? They will say, oh, the man was stealing money to give Obaseki. You know, the man has to be careful in selecting a team that can carry out the mega agenda, like the old man, the other guy who phoned said. So I am saying in a nutshell, people has to be patient and let the governor do his work as he thinks fit. I'm not stressed at all about commissioners or stressed about this. And unknown to people, the permanent secretaries right now are doing the work of the commissioners, and things are running smoothly. I travel around those states very well. A lot of roads are being constructed. A lot of primary health care centers are being constructed. A lot of training is being done to reorientate people. Edo best, Edo jobs. Even Osiomo is nearly completed now. It will be completed 100% in a few months. Gele Gele is going on. So nothing has stopped with the job that is going on the ground. Now, on the other hand, when the commissioners are appointed, are they going to run on water? Is it not money? They'll be paid salaries, they'll be paid allowances to just sit in the office and do nothing? No, the governor is saying, if you have to be a commissioner, then you must do the job. Give me people who can do the job. And he's doing this with consultation with the people. I think that's the best way to go. I'm not his personal spokesman, nor am I his lawyer, but I can see the job the governor is doing. And it is very good. It is to take Edo to the next level. That's my own personal opinion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Matthew Biki Waifo. It's always good to listen to you. Above all, you are on ground and you've given us loads and loads of insight. You have sued for patience, and you are not perturbed because you know the governor will do the right thing. I just want to appeal to our viewers. It's been the Comrade Show. Lines are still open. We are discussing cabinet formation in Edo State, and we want to hear from you. We want you to tell us what you think, what you observe, what your opinions are. I want to go back to my brother Agbons. I know you were trying to talk about something about vacuum. I will allow you to do that, but I just want to ask you a question, and I want you to speak to that. Remember, it takes a lot to rule a people. Edo State is uniquely different with all the issues we've talked about. Apart from the vacuum issue you want to talk about, don't you think the governor needs to be saluted for his courage in the face of these difficulties and challenges?
Yeah, I think there's a call coming. If we can take that one, I'll answer your question, Comrade Remira.
Hello. Please, can you reduce your device? Yes.
Yes, it's reduced already.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Helsinki. This is your brother Pedro.
Oh, go ahead, sir, Mr. Pedro.
Yeah, let me thank you guys for the good work you guys are doing every Sunday, and I was actually waiting for you to start, even though you started lately today, but I am still okay with it. So the topic is very important because I now love you guys more, not only the work you did when Obaseki was contesting for his second tenure, but for now coming to quiz the situation or the inaction surrounding the governor. I am very happy that you guys are not shying away and you are still probing the whole administration. But in my case, I don't usually want to take your time, neither do I have time myself to give out. So I have this point. People should understand that there was a full party, which is PDP, and Obaseki was in APC. Then Obaseki left to PDP, and people went with him. So when you add the number of people that are waiting for this job together, Obaseki is already in confusion what to do with his men who left APC with him and those who were completely in PDP, a full party. So it's like Obaseki took half of APC, or even more than half of APC members, to join the PDP. So if he's giving appointment out, he needs to be careful, because if he doesn't do it right, they are going to fight. And we already had information about people fighting. And my brother there, I will reference from your own case. I don't want to set you up against anybody. I watched somebody who was issuing warning to you that if you block him from being appointed, you will be in problem. Somebody, I watched him. I will not mention any name because we are all brothers. So people need to understand that there are permanent secretaries in each of these commissions. They are already working. And Obaseki himself, those state is not too big for him alone to think of what to do in every local government. He is a native of that state, and it is not his first tenure. So he already knew what he was doing. So in my conclusion, I expect people to be patient and to give him a little time to organize himself, to coordinate himself. I'm not trying to say all these excuses negate the fact that he has to make his cabinet. He should make his cabinet. It's not only the governor in Nigeria. So we cannot invalidate the fact that he should make his cabinet. So this is all I have for you guys. Thank you very much, and I wish you success.
Thank you so much.
My brother Pedro, thank you so much. I think we need men like you. I salute your statement and your objectivity. Please endeavor to always criticize and praise the Comrade Show where you see fit. Thank you so much for that. And just going back to Agbons, Mr. Pedro has added another dimension to the question. I didn't remember that. I was hammering on the courageousness of the governor. But Pedro has also told us that he's also confused. Don't you think we need to salute him for standing with these two very difficult words, courage and confusion, in the face of Edo State polity?
Yeah, thank you, my brother, Comrade Remira. I was going to speak on two things, and I think the last speaker said one bit of it. I was talking about timing in leadership. I think the challenge before His Excellency Governor Obaseki now is timing, because this appointment has taken so long. That is why there's a lot of people are talking, and people are getting really weary of this. And that is the reason why we decided in the Comrade Show to throw this issue open today so that people can comment. But like you always know, a lot of our people don't really understand what it means to do constructive followership. People just believe that it's all about throwing vitriol and heaping abuse and insulting people and all that. So if we didn't find this topic solid enough, we wouldn't throw it open like this for people to come. So I still want to encourage our viewers. Please, our number is on the screen. Pick your phone and dial, and let's hear your opinion on this issue. Like we said, it is not for us, the Comrade Show, today to start talking. No, this is your own time to give feedback, make your reviews, and let us hear your voice. And thanks to all our callers who have been calling in so far. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons, for that wonderful speech on the issue of confusion and courage with our government. While I want to appeal to all of those and concerned Nigerians wherever you are, the lines are open. Ring, talk to us about the issue on hand. I want to ask my sister, Dr. Loretta. She's a woman, and women are very courageous, like they say. Speak to courage and confusion as it relates to Governor Godwin Obaseki.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Comrade Reverence. I was just going to say that Dr. Agbons did not answer your question, and I was going to answer it. But anyway, you brought it to me. That is not to say Agbons did not make valid statements, but he actually didn't speak to that question. And your question is, should the Governor Godwin Nogalase Obaseki, be commended in the face of these two C's, courage and confusion? And my answer definitely is yes. It's a big yes. And after this next caller, I will elucidate and expand on that. You can take that caller.
Go ahead. We've lost the caller.
Okay. So I want to say, and many people have said it before me, and I want to thank all the callers. You know, every one of them have made a lot of sense. Somebody said that it is not easy to actually come and form a government or an ESCO when you are not even sure yet of your own lifespan. And everybody seems to forget that as well. And then somebody also said that somebody may be confused because a lot of things have happened and there are a lot of people on his neck. And that in itself is also true. But my brothers and my sisters and everybody out there, it is not a crime to be confused. It is not. But to show courage in the face of that confusion is something that must be commended, because that is the only time you will seek true answers to any confusion that you have. That is the only time you will begin to consult, because you have insight that yes, I am confused. So being confused is not a crime, and it is not anything new to humanity. But let me also point something out, that change is the only constant thing in life. And for us to build institutions, it is a very radical change from our norm. Our norms is that we have no institutions and we do not follow rule of law. Today in a WhatsApp group that we belong to, we saw how somebody flouted an agreed rule, an agreed guidance and protocol by an entire group on the altar of his emotions. So let us take emotions out of everything we are doing. And I'm going to end with a very practical story, maybe because I'm a teacher. Many years ago, I used to carry Joko, Aga, I'll carry it with my father to Palm House so that he can go and earn his pension, so that he can sit on that chair in the queue. I used to watch other pensioners fall around my father, collapse on queues. Sometimes they don't even get paid on that day. They are brought back for one accreditation exercise or the other. But yesterday, I spoke to my auntie. Her pension was going into her bank account. Bakam. Now, if having a governor who does this is wrong, I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right because of the many children who may miss school to carry Joko and follow their father to pensions office, who don't do that anymore. I don't want to be right because of the many men and women who collapsed on those queues that I saw with my eyes. I don't want to be right because lives are changing. The quality of life is changing. However, because people are not seeing what they want to see, they cannot understand the impact of change. But let me tell everybody in Edo State, change is the only constant thing in life. And being courageous in the face of confusion is a big plus and a big congratulation to our governor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta Ogboroko. I saw the passion in you. I asked you a question with the 2 C's, and you ended by adding another C, making it 3. Courage, confusion, change. These are big words. And those, we are still on the matter. The lines are open for you to say a thing or two concerning cabinet formation, governance in Edo State, and the issue of artifacts. My brother, Comrade Lamte, I know this is not the time to talk about constitutional matters. One has argued before that all forms of litigation should end upon swearing in. Some of our callers today have adduced to that part of Obaseki's confusion was not also being aware or know that tomorrow will come and it will still be there. Let's take the caller.
Hello, good evening. Where are you calling from and what's your name?
Good evening. My name is Patrick. I'm calling from the UK.
Go ahead, sir.
I want to thank you for this program, and the topic is quite interesting. The governor Obaseki should be commended for all he has been doing for the state, but I believe he can do better. We have always commended his doggedness, his courageous act to stand against everything that will militate against the successful running of the state. But recently, I have discovered that the cabinet is not been formed. To me, I feel it is not right. There could be a bit of a friction in the change that happened in moving from APC to PDP, and having to reconcile differences and get some power brokers in the party based on agreement, which might not be known to the general public. But being that as it may, the courageous nature of the governor himself should come to play here, because we know what he stands for, and for what he stood for in the past brought him to the limelight, and everyone brought into his ideology. So that which we saw in him is what made all of us to rally around him and supported him. So he should form a cabinet. If there is no much resources to do what he needs to do, then he should run the cabinet with whatever is available, because we know him to be a man that is accountable. So with the little resources that the state has, he can move the state forward. More disappointing to me in terms of governance is the state of the communities in Edo State, where we now see that the community talks that we used to call CDAs, they have come in different names. There are crises everywhere. And if someone has been used as an example before, that would have brought sanity to the system. But the governor is not really doing anything about that, because if you go online every time, you see crises in different communities of land grabbers and all those stuff. So because some of them, they have also worked for him, the governor is not seen to be doing anything. So the governor should wake up to his responsibilities, form a cabinet and run it with whatever resources is available, because that would be the only thing people will see and commend his efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, my brother Patrick from the United Kingdom. He appreciates the confusion. He salutes the courage of the governor, but he wants the cabinet formed as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Those, we are still on the issue of cabinet formation in Edo State. The lines are open for you to make your contributions. I'll come back to Comrade Lampton. I was trying to draw a point that the lack of constitutional matters being settled before swearing in, like one of our callers said, could also be another reason for this long delay, because probably the governor was also confused, not knowing what tomorrow would be. I know your answer will be it is appropriate for that to be settled, but would that be enough reason why he wouldn't have formed it, or you see other reasons, maybe political or non-political? Comrade Lampton.
Look, Austin, thank you very much. People are going to differ in their opinions on this particular matter. Okay, but there's something that will be constant that everybody can agree, with. And what is that? I was very young when, I got to learn this saying that the person who wears the shoes. Let's take this caller. Hello. Can you reduce your device, sir, or man?
Hello.
Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Anthony Ajibola Omorili. I'm calling from Germany.
Okay, sir. Are you a Benin someone?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir. God bless you, sir.
Can I go on?
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
With my contribution. Yeah. Thank you for the work you guys are doing. It's really great. But I will want to differ a little bit regarding the confusion, because personally I think it is less of confusion. I believe the governor is trying to lay a foundation, because from what I have seen that the governor is doing, there was no template. And what the government is doing now is to create a template. It might be difficult for us to accept now, but I think changes are always like that. We don't really know where is the baseline. When did the change start? Maybe in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, we will come back to see where the change that we all were yearning for started. And that is what I believe the governor is doing now. Of course, personally, I was not pleased at the initial stage that the forming of the cabinet is taking long. But following the government to this moment, I think he's just trying to do something radical, like Loretta did mention, and we just have to exercise a bit of patience. We can take this time like a sacrifice for this governor and the subsequent government to come, that whenever this is done and it is done rightly, every other government that will come will have it easy, because there will be already a template that is really fundamental for everyone to pick with. So I will just conclude to say that it is really, from my own judgment, less of confusion rather than more of trying to lay that foundation, make it really fundamental. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother Tony Ajibola from Germany. You appreciate that it is good for us to have the cabinet. You want a good foundation because you want the house to last for a very long time, and you think the governor is on that course. Those is being the Comrade and Friends. The lines are still open. We shall be rounding up shortly. We are looking to at least end the broadcast by about 7:30. So it's still open for us to make contributions. Comrade Lamptey, you were talking when that.
Thank you very much, my brother. What I was saying is this. I personally want to thank God that for the privilege of getting to come to know this governor very closely. And to be very honest, and I'll say this publicly, the more you get close to believing that you know the governor, the more you find out that you don't actually know him. I'm talking from a very personal experience and with things happening with the governor and everything. And I will let everybody know this. From my own standpoint and my own observation, there is nobody who can come out and beat his own hand on his chest to say, I am the key to what this governor does. Nobody. And my observation is only revealed to me that whatever we are seeing happen now, they are not happening by accident. The governor is a highly collected man, is a man who calculates a lot, and is a man, the things you see him doing right now probably may have been preconceived and done, in his own mathematical head 10 years before now. Now, why am I saying this? The reason why I'm saying this is that the governor came into governance, even when he was head of economic team of, what's his name, Comrade Friends. The man knew that Edo State governance was broken. And to fix a broken government, a broken institution, okay, it's going to take some time and it's going to take some guts. Now, let's face the fact. If if Edo State was a paradise before Obaseki became governor about 5-6 years ago, as the case may be, I'm not sure we'll be complaining. It is because there have been inherent failures by successive administrations right from when we were Midwest to Bende to Edo State. And for those who may not know, Edo State in August or September is going to be 30 years old since creation. Where are we? Are we trying to say that Governor Obaseki is actually the problem of Edo State that has accumulated right from when we started having Midwest? Thank God for the likes of Ogbemudia, who did so much on infrastructure, and what's his name, Ali, who contributed immensely towards human development and all of that. Where are the rest? What did they do? Do we know how much went into the administration of Adams Oshomole? Which Edo State did Oshomole leave for us? Which Edo State did Igbenedion leave for us? Which Edo State did Osumbo leave for us? Which Edo State did all of these governors leave for us? Now, the reason why I try to establish this is because this man inherited a purely broken institution. I was saying earlier that there were so many loopholes in the states where money will just be leaving, going. Obaseki has blocked all of them. Most of them, maybe not all. Which is one of the reasons why he's having even internal crisis sometimes with members who no longer get those things. I know some person called me 3 days ago. They belong to a certain board. They said what they now earn from that board, okay, is about 1/3 of what they were earning when Oshomole was there. People travel on behalf of the state as committee or whatever, travel to other states to attend retreats or whatever. They get bumper pay, so they no longer get it. They are confined to what they went there to do and all of that, saving money for the interest of the state. Now, on top of this, we are no longer having the history, like my sister narrated earlier, of pensioners, not receiving their entitlement. We are not having the history of people being owed their salaries. We are not having, as a matter of fact, allowances for primary school teachers has increased to encourage education at that level. A lot is ongoing and all of that. Now, this is why I'm establishing this as a major reason why I am not too perturbed. As a matter of fact, I have zeroed my mind to say I give this government 1 year to put everything in place so that we can have a Edo State that can be running, smoothly. Now, I am not trying to say, oh, the governor should not have formed his cabinet. I'm not making any excuses and all of that. But if there are reasons, and I know there are reasons, and just to establish those reasons, please just give me a second to establish some of those reasons. The governor on cabinet issue not too long ago asked that let it be a matter that will involve even to the ward level. Let people make nominations. Nominations were made. People went for screening and all of that. Now the governor was besieged by a barrage of complaints. Hey, this one is not qualified. So small godfathers in local government and ward level have used their own brothers, their political godsons and mothers, and presented them and all of that. And meanwhile, this governor has certain specifications for people who will be SSA, people who will be a special advisor, people who will be commissioners and all of that. Now, there is no way you can pack this, looking at this complaint, pack them to the House of Assembly for ratification. Now, to deal with this complaint, the governor in his wisdom now set up a 15-man committee to say, you are not meeting these people again to screen them. The documents they are submitted, check if these documents they meet with in the specification of what they are coming to do. And in turn, to treat the complaints that have come. Some are individualized, some are generalized and all of that. Now the committee has been given 2 weeks to look at all of these nominations that come from all the local governments, so that by the time the government is now able to sieve the seed from the chaff, they now know, okay, these are the ones that will not go to the House of Assembly for ratification. I think that this process is not a flawed one. I think it's a process that we need to give time so that we can get it right. Lastly, I must say, from what we have discovered, I have been making a lot of inquiries about a lot going on, even having chat with people right there inside the office itself, the government office itself. Now the issue now is this that I don't must understand. Serving in the cabinet of Governor Obaseki is no longer attractive if you are coming to come and eat money. Error! They have believe me, so people will come and serve as commissioners. We may likely have, after a few months, people will resign by themselves to say, no, I know they do. Now, so for head work, now they do for here. Because what this government is putting in place is putting in place, you know, an arrangement for people to serve for the glory of service. Because Ogberu has brought the state to her knees. Look at structures. The man came, he saw that the engine room of even government, the civil service, is a problem. It's been under restructuring, starting with the fiscal secretariat all over that has been there over the years. It has not been standardized. You go, I remember in that Edo state, you want to go and do affidavit, it's lobo. Today you don't do that. Everything is sanitized. You just go to the bank, pay your this thing, bring your teller, come to the court. The society is getting better organized. These are more important footnotes to all the other things that our eyes will be saying to make Edo become a better state than even London and Philadelphia. Now, is Governor Obaseki's tenure, will he be able to do all of these things and bring us to this dreamland? He may not. I'm not sure he would be. But I am very confident that this man will lay a structure, a footnote to further development, that even when other governments come in place, it will be very difficult to destroy what has been put in place. So Edo State will be like autopilot development-wise. A lot already ongoing. So I want to encourage that we keep faith with governance. And I equally want to encourage government too to take this box of this other civil service and all, what's it called, a cabinet. Take it quickly so we can move ahead. It's important so that the engine room of government can equally run and run faster. But be that as it may, I want to say, like somebody already acknowledged, the permanent secretaries are already doing the job. The oil government is very much running and all of that. This political appointment, by the grace of God, they will come in their own good time, by which time the government itself will be convinced that yes, what needs to be done has been done. So on that note, my people, I want to say, Comrade Iremira, that we have not lost anything. As a matter of fact, I believe very strongly and confidently that the deliverables we expect from this government will get to the people of Edo State. And remind you, when change is coming, it's always been challenged. But at some point, those who bring change, the real change, we will precede them forever. So what we are seeing right now is that we are seeing what we have never been used to, which is redefining and setting the template right for us to have a better Edo State. For many of us, I will appeal to us, I plead for understanding that we allow and give the latitude for this government to run and run well on behalf of Edo State. That will be my take, my brother.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamptey. You've spoken a lot on this. I will not be coming to you any further to talk about this. But I want to thank Edo people for coming and phoning and bearing their mind at the Comrade Show today. My apologies, because we initially thought we would speak about the Edo artifacts. But it's clear because of time we may not be able to talk about that today. We will reschedule that debate or that topic to be discussed for another day. I thank Edo people, and I hope that members of the Edo State governor and the three teams that we have now, another big weeks in Edo State, would listen later on, if not now, to the Comrade Show, because we carry the voice and the heart of the people and the feelings of the people to you. It's been the Comrade Show. It's been a very great one. But I will not leave without calling on three of our panelists to say a thing or two, just their last words on this matter. And I would hand over the baton to Comrade Lamptey to do a final round-off. So I know my doctor of letters, I call him, is itching to say a thing or two, not to wrap this issue from your end. Dr. Tony Agbons.
Thank you, my brother, for a very solid moderating and encourage you have done on this show today. You are indeed a comrade. Thank you, Dr. Loretta. I want to thank all our viewers for your contribution. To be honest, I just made a decision that I'm going to talk less today. And if you notice, I kept hammering on people should call in. And I still feel that, sorry, I'm like Oliver Twist, that most people still did not call in. But thanks to all those that called in, those that dropped messages, maybe you couldn't make phone call based on where you are. We appreciate you. And like Austin have said, we are the voice. You, the people, sovereignty lies with us. So we will keep holding government accountable, and we'll keep saying what we have to say, but constructively and in a motivating way. I wish all of you a very happy new week. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. I don't know if Ambassador Matthew Bikiu Wifo is still there, so that we can take.
Just Lamte just needs to call him.
Okay. Lamte, can you just call? Let me allow him to speak for a minute. Loretta will be the last. I will wrap up and we hand over to you to do the final razzmatazz. If we can get through to him.
Hello, sir.
Hello, I've been watching the program throughout. I'm hearing everything.
Yes, sir. It's your time, sir.
Ambassador Matthew Bikiu Wifo, we cannot thank you enough.
Hello.
I just want you to talk on the subject matter for 1 minute.
Viewers who called in, even though most of them were viewers from overseas, I want to encourage viewers at home that instead of complaining, forums like this, you can air your view, because this is a government that wants to hear from the people. It's inclusive, it's a government of inclusion. It wants everybody to be part of the government. That is what we call democracy. Now, before my last word, I just want to quickly say that a lot of people talk about Obaseki. A lot of people know Obaseki, but I can say it here categorically that a lot of people don't understand Obaseki. Obaseki is not confused and can never be confused. If you understand Obaseki very well, you will know that he is a man that is resolute, a man that is passionate, a man that is constant when he decides and makes a decision. A man that is focused, and a focused man cannot be confused. Why am I saying this? If you check from November, he has been constant. What do I mean? Immediately after the swearing in, his first press conference, he said power flows from the people, and that with working together with the people, we will be able to take Edo State forward. Okay? And he has been exhibiting this, coming to the transition press conference, coming to the various Zoom conferences, the various programs that he has been doing. He has been constant with that. So I want to encourage all Edo people to say this, that you have a governor that has a passion for his people and that is willing to carry out his program. And what is that program? To lay a infrastructure, to build the broken walls. Edo State's walls were broken completely. And I don't want in my lifetime for it to be repeated again. What happened to Ali? I'll quickly just say this. When Ali came to power, the then Bender State, Ali said there should be 48 to 54 local governments. And that local governments will be government closer to the people, and that the federal government is the one that is going to fund that. There were a lot of things people said, a lot of people going to the extent of even using broom to sweep Ali's leg. Now, when Ali has left the government, today, what happens? We are praising him, and we are saying, oh, had we known then, we would have allowed 48 local governments to be created. Edo now is now 18 local governments. when that time Ali has allocated 35 local governments to Edo State alone, and the rest was to be in Delta, about 20. You see, so I don't want in our lifetime, my own generation, for us to regret again. Let Obaseki leave power, and then after he leaves power, we look back, we say, oh, had we known? No, I don't want to regret. For me, personally, Obaseki is on the steering wheel. The buck, as the Americans say, stops with him. He knows what he's doing, and we should allow him, and allow time, allow history to judge him. We should not keep interfering and finding all those things and giving a reason because of the old ways of doing things. Like Lamte said, like the panelists have said, like most people who phoned in have said, yes, it is time to form the cabinet, but at his time, and we're giving the committee 2 weeks to come up with the final list. That should give you an indication of when the commissioners will be appointed. I should expect that from now till next month, they should be in place. Even if they are not in place, the governor knows why they will not be in place. It's his administration. Yes, and I know that, yes, people are part of that administration. I'm not saying people don't have a right to complain about delays or whatever. No, it's their democratic right. But what I'm saying, that certain times we might be complaining about a thing because we don't really know the inside dynamics of that thing. Let us give Edo State a chance through our governor, and I'm sure that in a short while everything will work out. And I'm just envious of the next governor that will take over from Obaseki, because he's coming to find stable structures on the ground, foundation laid on the ground, just like Jakande did in 1979 to 83, and up to today. Lagos is still using Jakande's blueprint. And I'm sure 10 years, 15 years to come, all the governors will still be using Obaseki's blueprint. And that is what will bring unending and easy flow of governance to Edo State. We are on a march to our Eldorado. The beginning, for any change, the beginning is always difficult. The middle is inconveniencing, but the end is always smooth and pleasurable. That is what Rodrigo Duterte of Philippines says. And I will end this talk with that quotation. The beginning of a change is always tough. The middle is always inconveniencing. And the end of it is always smooth running. We have already done the beginning in Edo State. We are now in the middle of that change. And I'm telling you, once we pass this middle, the end will be smooth running. Thank you all for being part of Comrade Show today. God bless you all, and God bless Edo State. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Matthew Biki Uwaifo, for your courage, for your historical perspective to our contribution today, and for your ray of hope that you've given to Edo State again. On that note, I will beseech you this evening as the Edo man who saw tomorrow. God bless you. And Dr. Loretta Aboroko, I will give you just about 60 seconds to say a thing or two while we wrap up.
Why would you be giving me 60 seconds? Why are you marginalizing the only female in your group?
my apologies.
Anyway, I want to stand on the words of His Excellency, Ambassador Matthew Biki Uwaifo. He has adjourned us all to exercise our democratic rights, and I am all for that. Anybody who knows me knows that I am for that. In fact, there's a friend who tells me that I am annoyingly proper. You see, but I want to tell us, as we all exercise our democratic right, let us remember the rules of delayed gratification. The rules of delayed gratification needs to be properly understood for a society to move forward. Why am I saying this? We cannot do things the same old way and expect new results. Somebody mentioned that templates and foundations are being forged. and institutions rather than strong men are being built. Now, when you look at a skyscraper, you see everything above the ground. Do you know how far the foundation goes underneath the ground? As someone who once wanted to be an architect, I can tell you that you almost have another skyscraper under the ground for you to be able to fix a skyscraper on top. So what is happening right now is that we have a man who is building templates and he's building institutions. You know, in that way, we have a roadmap. And sometimes, I think somebody mentioned it here, was it Dr. Agbons, who said that sometimes when things are not right, you have to fix it. But I would tell us, sometimes when things are not right, you have to break it down completely. And you have to rise from the ashes again like a phoenix. You have to fix it. You have to get right down to that foundation. You have to recall it. And sometimes that process is not noticed by anybody. I will conclude by telling Edo State people that they have a governor who is passionately, mark my words, passionately an Edo State man. He lives and breathes Edo State. He does not do anything about it other than that. You know, he doesn't do anything else, other than that. And he's a very, very, very intelligent man. So even in the midst of confusion, I have no doubt, absolutely no doubt, just like we all had no doubt and we all stood behind him, that he will find his way, and he will find his way with a willing team of people. Finally, I will want to join my voice to that of Oriahi, Iremira, and Agbons, and say that if you are gunning for your relative to become a commissioner or an employee in Obaseki's government, get ready and warn your relatives, because they're not going to be able to go there and act like it's business as usual. So if you even look at this, some people should start eliminating themselves already from these lists that are being submitted. That's the truth. And Edo State people, I want to commend all of you. I think that our interaction and engagement with governance is second to none. And in my opinion, we continue to map the political landscape of not just Nigeria, but Edo State as a whole. On that note, comrades and friends, and the ambassador, I want to thank all of you. It's been a rare privilege being here together with you people today. And I have absolutely no doubt that Governor Godwin Nolegase Obaseki knows exactly how he's piloting the state. All he needs now is our patience and our support.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta Ogboro-Oko. We've elevated you now to the lady comrade. To all of those, I say thank you so much for phoning in. Thank you for your contributions. My special appreciation to Ambassador Matthew Biki Uwaifo, all the way from Africa, Nigeria, Edo State, joining us. Thanks to Dr. Loretta Ogboro-Oko. Thanks to my paddy, the one I call the Doctor of Letters, Comrade Dr. Tony Agbons, and to our CEC, Comrade Lamti Ipowosa Oriaki. For those, we want our governor to do well. We want him to be courageous in the face of seeming confusion and difficulty. Today, our people have spoken, and we are asking, let the cabinet be formed sooner rather than later, but that the needful need to be done. Thank you so much for being part of us. It's been a comrade and friends. I will now hand the baton to Comrade Lamte Oriaki to do the final razzmatazz and the final bye-bye. It's been a privilege for me to anchor this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremiran. You've done very well, to be honest. Honestly, you've done very, very well. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Sister. She's been elevated, right? To
Lady Comrade.
Lady Comrade
Loretta Ogboro-Oko. We thank you very much, Lady Comrade Loretta Ogboro-Oko.
Thank you for the new nomenclature.
Yes. So she's no longer an associate comrade. She's now a full-fledged comrade. Yes. So we thank you very much for your time. as always, it's always very inspiring. As usual, the Musketeers, Dr. Agbon's wonderful day. Thank you so much. Of course, His Excellency Daddy Matthew Biki Waifu, we thank you as always, always, spot on and very inspiring. Of course, we set out and said this program was going to be very interactive, and indeed it was. I must applaud those who called in: Usazuwa, James, Edda Godwin, Joy, Victor from Hamburg, Origbe Usazuwa, Dominic, James from Austria. All you guys, you made this wonderful. We equally had Pedro and I think Patrick from UK. Thank you so very much. And of course, on Facebook and YouTube, so much, a lot of persons have been, joining the conversation. Bobby Obayuwana, Comrade Bobby Obayuwana had been very busy, equally, giving perspectives, of course, standing with the governor and asking for everybody to support the governor. Comrade Obayuwana, we thank you. Agawa Gebo on Facebook, we thank you very much. Pedro Clifford, thank you. Yes, Rabbi Nofe, many of you guys, man, you've been part of this process. We're not just alone. Everybody's been part of the conversation. Anna Usas, thank you very much equally for your time and your contributions. Thank you so much. Patience Irabo, Patience, I thank you so. In fact, I cannot thank you enough. More than it. Moses Edukbolo, thank you, Moses. Moses, thank you. Moses was part of this, making huge contribution. Chooks Obaseki. In fact, their names are just too numerous. I'm just looking at them. Frederick Hato, everybody was part of this, process. Moses actually said that he said the government need to improve on its communication. I think I agree with that. A lot of this lacuna or vacuum is created because people are not deeply informed about what is actually going on as well as such, and so probably all that is creating its own problem. So Moses observed that, and of course on YouTube we probably got a lot of persons. Just some of you, thank you so very much. Destiny Ubiebo, God bless you so very much, very, very much. Thank you so much. Sini Odia, you were equally part of these debates. Destiny, I mentioned Destiny earlier. Vivian Faith, Wise One, thank you so very much. Precious Aisha, I recognize you. Yes, Mercy Obaseki, the Humble Stars, Henry O, Joy Osunobu, all you guys, Nurse Ruth, Laura Mary, Imade, all you guys have been part of the process. We don't want to thank you because without you guys, we can't be here. It's our program, it's a Comrade Show. If you're joining us for the first time and you've not yet subscribed, to our YouTube channel or follow our Facebook channel, please do. This is a national, channel where we talk about issues affecting Nigeria, issues affecting Edo State, of course, for the purpose of ensuring that we contribute towards a better society, most especially a better Edo State, and of course, hopefully a better Nigeria. On that note, my people, I want to say a very big thank you, and to say that for this edition, we could not discuss the issue of the artifacts. We had it actually as part of our agenda, but we're going to come with it hopefully by next week. That one is equally raising dust. We need to equally discuss it, of course, discuss the things we know about it and other matters concerning, that. Of course, we're going to deal with that hopefully by next week. Until we meet you again, this has been Comrade and Friends, a segment of the Comrade Show, and of course, it's Sunday Tonic, as nicknamed by one of our own. That's talking of a Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremira. My name is Lamtik Mosa, like I said before. I'll see you again, and until then, stay blessed and stay safe. Bye for now.
Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.